It's just not the right time now. Fantastic. Everything improved. Really drunk every day, gossipy kind of videos, and closer towards having an extraordinary life and bank account. Hi everybody, my name is Tiffany and welcome back to my channel. There will never be a right time to make a change. Why did you click on this video? It is because you know that you are meant for more. I felt called to create this content, this video for you today because of a very powerful and very activating conversation that I had this morning. My intention today is to allow you to have a shift in your mindset, to recognize what your blocks are, and to realize that you can actually change your life. Currently, it is Wednesday, June 25th, and it is in the afternoon. Actually, I did get back from my Pilates class before, and I had this conversation with a woman after I finished my class as I was having coffee. It is one of the most common conversations that I have, and a topic that I do love to talk about, which is mindset. In today's video, I have broken this video up into 6 parts. I'm going to be sharing about your life won't change until you decide. Part 2, I'm going to share about what's actually and invite you to question what actually is holding you back. And part 3 is what if it actually works? Part 4 is building a life around your vision. Part 5 is you cannot do it alone, community and mentorship. Part 6 is the energy behind your actions. And I'm going to have a ending and a call to action. So there will never be a right time to make a change. Think about that again. Have you said this recently? Is this something that you say? It's just not the right time now. And so the idea about waiting for the right time, it's actually a myth, because true change can really come from a decision that you act on now and not later. It's about rewiring that mindset and having that awareness that actually, first of all, you continue to respond to things that you may have already recognized that you need to make a change, but you're on auto default of it's just not the right time. And most people are living out of their lives from this old programming, from these preconditioned beliefs and these self-limiting beliefs that I can't do this now. It's not the right time because of X, Y, and Z. And people come up with a lot of different excuses why they cannot make a change. And maybe you can relate this right now, making a change, whether it is in your own health and wellness, whether it is in your financial situation, or whether it is in a decision to switch your careers, or maybe you are in a relationship or a friendship, or it's a major decision, a major aspect of your life, and that you need to make a change, but it's just not the right time. Let me share about this story, the conversation that I had with the woman this morning, having coffee after I finished Pilates. And she was sharing with me, she goes, oh, the next time I saw you, she said, I wanted to sit down with you and ask what it is that you did for work. So I said, oh, I work online and I'm a distributor for a Japanese sustainable health technology company. Through my social media and through other digital marketing, I share about whether it is the benefits and of the product that I sell, or whether I share about the business opportunity. And then she continued to tell me that she actually does drink Kangen water. I was like, fantastic. She says, no, I don't drink it here. She is American. And she says when she is home in the States, she will buy the jugs, plastic jugs of water, and she drinks the water. She knows also a guy here who lives in Canggu that is also a distributor, a friend of hers. And she shared that he shared all the information about it. And she goes, oh, look, I get it. It makes sense. The water's amazing and I get it. And she says, even showering since living here in Bali, the quality of my hair has changed. And so, of course, we got into a conversation about water and water in Southeast Asia and then water in the world. We got into the conversation and I said to her, so why haven't you bought a machine? She goes, oh, she goes, first of all, it's the price of the machine. And she's like, it's not the right time. And I was like, oh, okay. So why isn't it the right time? She said to me that she can't invest in it because I would rather spend my money on something else. And she's like, I'm not really thinking long term. And we started talking about health and wellness and aging and longevity. And then, of course, continue to talk about the quality of water in Bali. I just wanted to bring up because she said, look, I don't want to spend, because the machine currently, the flagship model of the product from the company that I partner with, is about 5,000 something US dollar. Depending on tax and where you are in the world, it can vary. In Australia right now, it's maybe almost 9,000 Australian dollars. In the US, it's about 5 or 6,000 US dollars. And she said, no, I don't want to spend the money. I would rather spend my money on something else. And then we started, like I mentioned before, we started talking about health and how important health is and aging well and longevity. And the conversation went that way. Okay, so just for you, if you're also a numbers person, this machine, not only obviously is it used for drinking the best water, hydrogen water, electrically reduced water, but there are so many other purposes for this machine in your home or in your office, wherever you have it. This is just like side information for you, because maybe you are watching my video right now and you have come here because you are interested in the business and you are curious about this machine, or maybe this is the first time that you are seeing this. If you're new to my channel, you can hit the subscribe button for more value and vibe. However, there is so many things that this machine can replace. All-purpose cleaner, bleach, laundry detergent, hand and mouth disinfectant. There are more than 100 different uses for this machine and the water. Also to keep in mind, because if you say initially you make that one-time investment and it's like 5 or 6,000 US dollars, the lifespan of this machine, of course, you must maintain it like any other device. You must upkeep the maintenance. This machine can last for more than 25 years. And just a calculation that over 25 years, you could be saving on the money that you spend on bottled water, or however you spend money to have water. God forbid that you're drinking your water out of your tap. That could be a whole nother conversation. But let's say that you are replacing different items in your home or in your office. You're saving roughly approximately about $50,000, right? So let's just say that you no longer need to invest in buying bottled water or other products in your home, right? That a lot of people, let's just take, for example, on average, people spend about $80 to $100 a month on bottled water. And then you're also spending money per month or every 3 months on cleaning products and other hair care, beauty care, plant care, so many other home uses for the machine. You are saving roughly approximately $50,000 over the course of 25 years, but you don't want to spend that initial investment. It just doesn't make, actually, it's up to, I'm sorry, I'm looking at numbers here just because you're a numbers person. So let's say you're spending $80 to $100 a month on bottled or delivered water, right? And I really do hope that you're not drinking water out of the tap. But let's say, to be fair, you're spending about $50 a month on bottled water, filtered water out of plastic jugs over the course of 25 years. That's an extra $15,000 that you're not purchasing as well. So when you add up the products in your house as well as the bottled water, that is about $65,000 approximately in total in savings over 25 years. Is that worth it to you then to spend $5,000 now for something that could benefit and optimize and elevate your health over the long term, as well as replace a whole bunch of other products in your home? And as well, this product is a sustainable, conscious product, not only for your own health, but for the environment. Just something to think about. Anyway, so I just wanted to give you that information. I just mentioned that to her about, the value of the savings in that sustainable long-term solution. I mean, does that not make sense? Does that not make sense that if you spend on something now, today, that may be a higher price than you would pay, than initially think that you would pay for, but you understand the role of what a device could do for your health and also your money over the long term. Does that not make sense? Anyway, I just really want to highlight that this is really scarcity thinking, short-term mindset, and a fear of commitment. And this is where it comes into play, that whether I'm talking about my business or whether it's talking about other things out of business, that when we think in this lack, this scarcity, just like a short term. And don't get me wrong, it is really important. And I do talk about being present. But when you're thinking about things longer term, like where is your money going? How am I spending my money? How am I investing my money? And what is my mindset around what I invest and spend my money on? And how am I actually thinking? I think it's really important to bring to light that you may possibly be in this short-term lack insecure mindset, and understanding the value, first of all, understanding what you value, and then understanding an opportunity, an offer, a product, something in your life that could actually allow you to elevate in your wealth and your wellness. Wouldn't that be something to consider? So this is exactly why, for me personally, I invested in this machine, because I value my health and I value my wealth and I value the way that my lifestyle and work style will be in a sustainable long-term way. But I think that is what is so common, that people cannot see beyond where they may feel limited because their beliefs have just been preconditioned. This is old programming that may be coming from family or maybe coming from society or just like generationally. And it's allowing you to recognize that you have this block and then to actually act on that. So I just wanted to share that that is the reason why I wanted to create this video, is because this conversation is a common conversation that I have with people in everyday life and obviously through business every day in my business. So I want to move on to part 2. What is actually holding you back? So we have recognized that we have this initial mindset, and maybe this mindset is coming from that lack place, and that it's these limiting beliefs, it's past programming, and it's fear. It's fear that, like, what if this might not work? So let me just give you some examples. Okay, so I don't have the money. It's not the right time. I don't have the money. I don't want to spend the money. What if this doesn't work? What will other people say? And I'm just not ready. It's not the right time, right? These are like some of the most common things that people say. Like there's fear of what other people think and how they will get judged. Like not having your own like faith and belief in yourself. You know, these lack thoughts and self-limiting beliefs and these preconditioned beliefs and this old programming, these generational traumas, this is what's keeping you really stuck, right? But what is beautiful is that I know that those of you who come to my channel, you do already have this awareness. I know this about you now through my content and through my channel and through my social media platforms, is that you're already actually aware of these beliefs, but it's about reframing these beliefs now. They're simply your excuses. And I know that is really hard to hear. And we all do it. I do it as well. It's like all this like excuses that you keep coming up with. Do you not see that these excuses are limiting you? They're stopping your full potential. They're blocking your life. They're inhibiting you actually creating more for your life. It's just really keeping you stuck when you could be more in this expansive energy and an expansive mindset. And it's keeping you stuck from amplifying different areas of your life. I really want to share now a personal story where I was in my own way, and maybe some of you can relate to this. And I've spoken about this on other videos of mine, that I stayed stuck in a relationship far too long for years. Yes, I did see the red flags at the beginning. For some reason, whatever mindset and energy and frequency I allowed myself to remain in, that is where I was at the time. Thank God I'm in a very different place nowadays. But you may have heard that I stayed in a relationship here that was in Bali for years too long. And why? At times I thought, no, it's not the right time to break up. I can't leave the relationship. And then I would. And then because I wasn't strong enough in myself and I wasn't in my worth and I wasn't confident and I was listening to what others were saying and I was scared of what other people were saying, I was so in my own way. I was in like old conditioned programming of like how I thought that I should be and what I could do and think. was like a whole thing, if you remember. And it's so interesting because I was so scared. I was so scared to make a change. What if? Oh my God. I went in circles like this. And let me tell you, this relationship was the worst time of my life in relationship, in my mindset, that I have had in all of my years so far. And when I actually did leave and end the relationship, I had broken up many, many times and gone back to him. And of course, at the time, I did think that I was very much in love and that I loved him. And there probably was a love that I felt. However, when I actually did finally leave, and it had to get to the worst place imaginable, and God forbid that you allow yourself to drop into these places, but I just remained in a situation that was ripping my soul and everything from me. And if you've also been through breakups or divorces, maybe you have also experienced this as well. But actually, what I was so scared of, that, everything would be worse, it was the other way. Everything in my life changed. It could have been so simple that I just made the break, made the cut, ended the relationship and left. But I stayed, like I said, years too long. And what was so interesting is that actually everything improved. My surfing improved, my confidence improved, my business improved, my money improved, my friendships improved, my relationships with my family members improved. Like everything got better. It was like I was living in this black hole, and I stepped away and it was like all the light flood in and everything got better. But I was so scared. I was the one in the end, even though it was somebody else I was in a relationship with. At the end of the day, we are the ones in control of our lives. And once I finally stepped away and was in my sovereignty, everything got better. The truth is that most people think, it's not the right time to change. It's too hard. It's too hard. It's just easier to stay stuck in my shit. It's just easier to stay uncomfortable and where everything is actually comfortable, being in your mess, being in your stress and your anxiety, because that is what is familiar. It's humans have conditioned and made it like the wrong way, that it feels better to stay where it's worse. It's better to stay in your mess because it's harder to change. It really is. It really is harder to change. But when you can actually just get out of your own stubborn, egotistical way and make those changes, my goodness, everything can get better. It might not happen overnight, but you can actually change your life for the better by making those changes. I want to speak into now part 3, which is what if it works? So we've covered that it's not the right time. What if it doesn't work? What if? Oh my God, we get stuck in that, in our excuses. They become at the forefront all the time. Oh no, I can't. Oh, I don't have the skills. I don't have the money. I don't have the time. It's not the right time. No, I'm just, you get stuck in that, right? What if on the flip side, right? Okay, first of all, we want to start worst case scenario, if you never make a change, right? And for this woman, if she never makes a change and she never invests in the machine, what if right now, you're still in the same relationship, you're still in the same job, you're still with the same fitness level and health level, right? You're just as you are now. What if, worst case scenario, you stay exactly where you are now because you never make a change, because you're too scared and because it's not the right time? Okay, fine. You just end up staying the same as where you are now. Best case scenario, what if everything works out and you create an entirely new reality? This may not happen overnight, but what if on the other side, you actually could create a fucking extraordinary life? My God, what if? There's magic here. On the other side, the magic of taking a leap of faith and acting in alignment with your vision. I want to share into that. You may have a vision, you may have your goals, right? You may think of the woman you want to look like and the woman who has the success, and you're here and you're there and you have this house and you have that relationship and that husband and you've been to these places and you've got this type of business and you have this in your bank account. That, living into that vision, what if actually that works out? It's actually wouldn't it be amazing to live into the feeling of that possibility of what if it actually works out? Doesn't that feel better? That what if I did something that contributes to me moving closer to that, like living into the possibility, the power of your intentions and your goals and those desires. Doesn't that feel good? Let's move into part 4, is building a life around your vision. My intention here for this video is to be a wake-up call for you to actually step into your full potential and realize that you can build your life, your lifestyle, your life, and your work style around what matters to you. It doesn't have to make sense to anybody else, but if it feels good in your heart and your soul and you get excited about that possibility of your vision, then you can actually build your life and work style around what those passions and desires and goals are and what matters most to you. I want to share to you how I actually got to design my daily routine. I focus on prioritizing my wellness. I cannot show up and surf every day, 10 Pilates classes every day, go to my screens every day, show up and be present. If I have to go out for something social, if I am not feeling good within myself. And for me to feel good, I need to eat clean. I need to stay hydrated with the best water. I need to take my supplements. I need to sleep. I need to give myself the downtime. I do need to commit certain hours to my business and work. Yes, it's about working smart and efficiently and productively and in alignment rather than just hustling hard and sitting there and stressing, right? There's a way, a style that you can show up for your business and for your wellness, but really prioritizing your wellness and your healthy habits. It is so key. As above, so below. If you are not fueling yourself from within with foods and the proper sleep and nutrients, how can you show up for anything else? So I really prioritize my wellness, And of course, I obviously have a product that I use every single day that keeps me in flow. I drink the best water. I shower in the best water. That is the Kangen water. That is the hydrogen-rich water. That is the electrically reduced water. If you would like any information on that, I'm more than happy to share that with you. Just send me a message or drop a comment in the feedback section. And then obviously how I'm building a life around my vision, and of course all of this you can do as well, I invite all of this for you to do as well, is I've been able to create a brand online, my personal brand through my social media platforms, and I connect with a business model that is conscious, that supports a scalable income and allows me to generate compounding commissions with the lifestyle that I have. As you know, I live in Bali. I'm a full-time surfer right now. No, of course, I'm not a professional surfer, but I do full-time surf, especially now because it is the dry season. It is the big wave season. I am very focused with my wellness, my fitness. So I do attend currently Pilates right now, classes pretty much every day, and probably around 5 to 6 times a week, if not every day. I'm also doing a very minimalist yoga practice. I've been able to create what I do online, my business, my brand, my business, around what my values are and what my lifestyle is. If you're at a place in your life that you have some ideas and you want to focus more on what your passions are and what your values are, know that you can actually restructure your life to support and live in alignment with what those values are and with how you would like to earn money and how you would like to earn and how you would like to live out your days. It's about impacting, it's about alignment, and it's about being in service and not hustling. Now, I will just preface that, of course, you do also have to put in your time to commit and dedicate to showing up to running a business. And that looks different for everybody. In the business model and the company that I'm with, there are some people that spend 2 hours a day. There are some people that spend 4 hours a day. There's some people that spend a lot more time. And that, of course, is dependent on what your lifestyle is and what your goals are and how much you want to dedicate your time and your energy to building success with this business. And that's what I've seen through my company and through my community. So I think that is really beautiful because times have changed compared to what it was generations and decades before, that there are so many people now working in ways that are fueled by their values and their passions and being able to, this is where it's key is by doing your business due diligence and looking at different models and opportunities, whether it's online or whether you're still showing up to an office, that actually you feel excited about and that is going to allow you to thrive and be abundant, not just in your financial life, but also just in other areas of your life, so that you can experience your life, so that maybe you're not just in your office or in a way of a work style and that's all you get to do and you don't get to experience your life. And of course, there has to be a flow as well. And I like to focus now on these years of building my business so that later on I can spend less time, because I've spent more time now committed to building something that's of real value and worth to me in the long-term vision. Again, breathing into the possibility of what if I do certain things now that are going to contribute and impact and amplify my life in the long term, financial life, personal life, professional life. And I've got videos about this, about getting really clear with your personal, professional, and financial goals for not only maybe 1 month or 3 months, 12 months, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. I think it's really, really valuable and important to have that clarity around, what is it? And of course, your goals can change, but it's creating that clarity now. Part 5, the next section of this video, is that you don't have to do this all alone. I think it's beautiful to be a part of a community and have mentorship or expansive circles and environments that you place yourself in, which are going to allow you to expand. I think at the end of the day, of course, maybe you have your own business, or at the end of the day, you may just be on your own yoga mat or Pilates mat, or you're on your surfboard. Like inevitably, we are doing somewhat things like alone individually, but also another way of looking at this is this quote that I always quote. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with others. I have found through my journey through surfing, through fitness and wellness now, through business, that it is so key to have mentors and role models and communities where you can stay in alignment with what your values are and have the support and have the vibe of others around you who are also building their dreams and goals around you, and that you are actually collectively keeping one another accountable and allowing one another to grow. When you surround yourself with people who are also in that same vibration and frequency, that they do want to create more, it allows you to step up and to keep running with that frequency. I found that in my surfing journey, by always placing myself in situations where there are amazing surfers around me, it forces me, it allows me, it helps me to propel forward and match their frequency and improve. And I've seen that there are surfers that I surf with now who've become friends and I still do, that I admire in the water. And years ago when I first started surfing in Uluwatu, I would watch certain guys wow, they're always the ones at the peak and they're always the ones at Bommy getting the waves. And wow, I wish that I could get those waves as well. And you know what? I continued to show up in those areas with those surfers. And you know what? Nowadays, yes, I am also one of those people that can sometimes get these amazing waves as well. And it's the same now by placing myself in different online communities and different programs and workshops and masterclasses, which are also allowing my mindset and my skills to expand, so that ultimately I'm able to help myself develop, so that it's going to contribute to me developing my skills for not only my own self-serving goals, but to be able to help you to step up and reach your full potential. I think that it's important as well to just give yourself your own audit in your life. If there are friends or if there are environments and places where you don't feel like you're being supported and encouraged, and you're feeling like you're in flow and you're able to grow and expand, and you're feeling maybe judged, or you're feeling that maybe there's gossip, or it's a bit off, or if it's even accounts, Instagram, YouTube, whatever social media, TikTok, whatever social media platform you're on, LinkedIn, X, wherever you are, if there are accounts that you're not feeling excited and motivated and inspired and empowered by, stop following them or block them. You get that power actually. And that's hard, because also it could be family, right? It could also be if you can love people from afar, if you're not getting support where you feel like you have boundaries and you're not being treated the way that you deserve, you also get to allow yourself to just remove yourself from those environments. You don't have to stay where you're not going to grow. And it's being really intentional, going back to the social media, or whether it's you're listening to a podcast, a YouTube video, you're reading a book, you're just sitting at tables or being in Zoom meetings. Be really intentional and aware of what you're consuming in your day around you. You want energy around you that you feel excited and inspired by, and you're like, right, okay, it makes you reflect on yourself. Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to change that. Like, it makes you in a forward momentum. If you're like in those environments that you're like, oh, there's accounts that you follow and you're like, oh, I don't really like what they're saying. You again have control to not consume that. And it's actually okay that maybe people have different viewpoints of what your goals are, what you want to do, and that's okay. You can just allow them to have their own opinion. Of course, everybody's entitled to, but to always remain true to your heart and what matters to you. Everybody is on their own path, and as long as you stay on the path that you're meant for, with the goals that you have, with those crazy wild passions that you have, this is the most important thing. And you'll find that there is, so I was watching a YouTube video of Natalie Dawson, who I recently, a couple of months ago now, signed up for her program, and she had 5 weeks or 4 weeks of Zoom meetings that I attended with the program that she had. She recently, though, came out with a YouTube video about the pace gap, that when you actually start to grow and change and things start to be different in your life, people will start to comment. And maybe those who don't support you are going to fall away and judge you, because that's whatever's going on. It's because you are actually triggering them of something that they may feel uncomfortable about. And that's okay. That's normal, because unfortunately, there are going to be people that don't want you to change, because that's also scary for them. They want to feel safe that you're always going to be the type of person who you are. And they might think that, oh, I can treat them in a certain way, or they're always going to be like this. And then as soon as you change, it makes them feel uncomfortable. It's going to inevitably internally allow them to think about themselves, and that's what makes them feel comfortable. But this is the pace gap, and this is important, because through different times, when everything's good and everyone's around you and everything's good. But when shit hits the fan, you really start to know who your true friends are and who really is there to support you and encourage you through your life, through business, through surfing, through whatever area of your life. That's just the reality of what it is, and that's what I've experienced through my own experiences of last year and of other years before. And it's okay that some friendships and relationships and some interactions and things fall away in your life, because it's going to create space for what is meant to come into your life. Different friends, different groups, because we're always going to be, and hopefully, evolving and changing. Let's talk about the energetics of that. There is never a right time to change, but the energetics that you need to actually act now, because there is energy behind your actions, and people can feel that in real life, and people can feel that through the lens, through video and through being online. It really does matter. And whether you, and I'm sure that you are aware of this, that we are all energy, and energy can be felt, and that you are going to attract what you are. So again, it's so important to create this clarity around what your values are, and then allow yourself to be living in alignment with what your values are, and to be aware of what your energy is, and to be aware of what allows your energy to flow and what allows your energy to be challenged and slow. Now, of course, I think it is actually beautiful that through challenges and adversity, it does allow us to be like, whoa, like I'm not flowing right now, which is actually your beautiful invitation to reset and change, like how you may be approaching things, how you may be making decisions, to make new decisions to make those changes, right? Because if you really do want that success and wealth and aligned relationships, and you want those incredible days in surfing and friends and where you just feel like you're in flow, like you have to match a vibration of being in flow and being aware of your energy and where you need to put that energy and what you're consuming and what you're fueling in your body and how you're waking up and how much sleep you're getting. Like everything of being aware of like how are the things that I'm doing in my day and the thoughts and my feelings and my actions, how is that going to impact my energy? And what do I need to do with my thoughts, my feelings, and my actions so that my energy is in flow, so that I am able to attract into my life what it is that's going to allow me to create the results of wealth and success and love and joy, right? And that if there are, like I said again, friendships, environments, if there's foods, if there's things that you know that it doesn't make you feel good, act now from the vision that you have in the long term. Let's take, for example, of course, this is an example. For me, during that time of the month, I really crave a lot of food and sugar. Now, I know that in the short term that I need to fuel myself because I'm having that time of the month and I've gotten to learn very much. My body craves this and this is just like what happens with my body, and I satisfy that because I know in the long term that my hormone levels or my physiology or whatever, it like returns to normal when that time of the month arrives. However, I know that if I'm just going to constantly every day be eating shitty food and getting really drunk every day, and I'm just listening to like gossip shit, YouTube, gossipy kind of videos, and I'm going to continue to show up with friends who they only want to do is gossip, like that's not going to allow me to elevate and to move closer towards having an extraordinary life and bank account and attracting in my ideal husband and partner, right? So it's like being so aware of where your energy is and where you're putting things that are going to affect your energy. Okay, so I just wanted to share on that. I just want to now wrap up that the conversation that I had, and maybe you are somebody that says this as well. I've definitely said this in the past. Oh, I want to make changes and I want different in my life with my health and with money and with whatever area of your life. But you're like, no, it's not the right time. I can't. Oh, like I don't have the money, or I'm not strong enough yet, or, like it'll come, like, slowly. Like you can actually act now, and that decision in the present moment, because you are aware of what your long-term vision is, can change everything for you. But you've got to actually make the change now. Otherwise, you stay the same. And I really encourage for you to reflect on where in your life are you waiting, because there's never going to be the right time. The right time is when you actually act and decide now. And so I invite you, after you finish watching this video, is to, whether you journal this or you have a conversation or you type this out in the notes section of your computer, but really ask yourself and be honest. Why am I afraid to change? And what beliefs are keeping me stuck? Why are you so afraid to change? What could be worse than like if you're already in the situation now? Like it can't be any worse. You're already maybe in a situation that you're like not happy. Imagine if you made a change that changed that worse. Otherwise, you just like stay the same, right? And then write down like what beliefs keep you stuck. What do I keep saying to myself? Maybe it's been years and decades since you've been younger. What are some like these beliefs, this programming, this like narrative that's on autopilot default that keeps you stuck? Right? What are you actually saying to yourself that keeps you stuck, right? Or maybe what habit or what is it in your physical environment that you're like stuck, right? Then what action can you take today to move toward your vision? What can you do today? One thing. It could be one thing. It could be one small thing. Start with one thing, right? Actually, there is that book, One Thing, right? So I really encourage you today to ask yourself those questions. Why are you afraid to change? What beliefs keep you stuck? And what action can you take today to move toward your vision? I thank you so much for watching this video. And I really do hope that you act now today to change your life, your money. I encourage you, if you haven't subscribed to my channel and you are enjoying these videos, subscribe. please hit the subscribe button for more vibe and value. If you like the video, you can hit the thumbs up button. And also, if you would like any information to the free online business training course that I have to learn about the opportunity that I'm aligned with, I would love to share that with you. In full transparency, that course will share everything that you need to know in this initial discovery stage about what it is that I'm involved with and if that could actually be something for you, could be a vibe for you. So just leave me a message and I'm more than happy to share that information, the link with you. And just to leave you with that you have one life. You actually are the one that gets to give yourself permission. You get to today, if you choose to, unleash your potential now. So I wish you all a beautiful day and I will see you next time. Thank you so much. Bye for now.